This is Arts Alive. I'm Linda Philippi, and my guest today is Carol Stevens. Carol is the event coordinator for Carlton's Walk in the Park, which is coming up very soon. So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I guess the big news is the date.
Correct. We have traditionally been the first week in August, and this year we've moved our date up, so we are July 23rd and 24th.
That's great. And what prompted the change?
You know, a couple variables. The first weekend in August is our Yamhill County Fair, and because we are so volunteer-based, a lot of our volunteers were torn between using their time at the fair or coming and helping us at Walk in the Park. And then the International Pinot Noir celebration changed their dates. They're traditionally the date of the 23rd, and they moved it to the last weekend in July. So we moved it up to avoid conflict with some other great community events.
I think that's wonderful. Yeah. Maybe it'll be a little cooler.
I know. Yeah, we've had some hot winters and hot summers, but I'll tell you, it hasn't rained, and that's very important for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about maybe what's going on this year that might be different or fun or more of the same that everybody loves?
Well, it's a little bit the same, but a lot of different. We have about 50 regional artists that are going to be joining us this year. And something that's really exciting for me, since I've been with the event for so long, is to see a lot of new artists involved this year.
Okay.
People that may not have attended our event. We have jewelers, pottery, glass blowers, some recycled metal work, some water paintings, just a real wide variety of artists. Some that have been a staple. Karen Wright Jewelry, she'll be there. Mike Santanay, a local favorite, will be there as well. Terry Powers, who comes out of Sandy, makes recycled metal and art and wood products, which are just fabulous. I have one sitting in my front porch, I have to admit.
Well, I guess we should mention that the jewelry you're wearing today is so beautiful from Karen.
I know. Yes, she does great stuff, natural stones, and I know I try and stay away from her booth as much as I can during the event because my pockets end up empty at the end of the weekend.
Because you want to leave something for somebody else to love.
This is true. This is true. Absolutely. Yes, I bought some great pieces from True Image Photography out of Amity. And we're going to have some great artists this year, ranging from every dollar amount you could imagine. And I really think there's going to be something for everybody there.
And then let's talk about the food.
You can't go wrong with the food there. I know when people think about a park atmosphere, they sometimes think of, corn dogs and French fries, and I will tell you it is not that at all. So we have about 10 local food vendors that are going to be joining us. Laurent Blanc from McMinnville, Nick's Italian Cafe, Cuvée Restaurant in Carlton, Red Fox Bakery, Tina's in Dundee, and the food choices, my wallet goes empty and my waist grows because there's just wonderful food choices. I always go for Nick's lasagna, I have to admit.
That's so good.
It's wonderful.
And then, of course, there's wine.
There is wine. Being in the heart of Oregon wine country, we're going to feature about 30 wineries. They're all from the Yamhill County area. So they either have a vineyard in the Yamhill Carlton AVA or have a tasting room and winery in one of those towns in Carlton and Yamhill.
Oh, okay.
So really important to that. I'll get to why we do that in a little bit. But, we have Ken Wright Cellars, Tyrus Evans pouring there. We are going to have Wild Air Cellars, which makes wine from all around Oregon, but has a tasting room in downtown Carlton.
Okay.
Yeah, Seven of Hearts wineries. So a lot of red wine, a lot of white wine. And this year we also, Republic of Jam, which is a new company in downtown Carlton.
Fun.
Lynette's going to bring her product there, and little wine tasters will have a chance to sample something that pairs pretty good with some wine. So, yeah.
Wine and jam.
Wine and jam. You'd never think that, but she actually uses the wine in her jams.
I think that's great.
It's great. For us, the Walk in the Park started really as a grassroots event to bring money and bring economic viability to the towns of Yamhill and Carlton. I remember when I first started working and coming to Carlton, there were very many vacant storefronts in our town. And now, I tell you, a for rent sign goes up there, and it is first come, first serve. Everybody really wants to have a business there.
Hot property.
It is. And, it's great to see that economic viability come back to the town. And it's not just about tourism. It's not just about wine. It's about providing jobs for local people. I mean,
Absolutely.
in the tasting rooms, many of the people that work in the tasting rooms live in Carlton. They don't have to travel out of the town to work. Mm-hmm. You drive through there, and it's it's a beautiful town now. I mean, there's flowers everywhere. There's a real sense of pride there, and I think that Walk in the Park has helped with that. So that's something we're proud of.
It's so interesting because I moved to this area like almost 25 years ago. And that one block used to be the Portland Glove Factory.
Yep, and the
right?
log cabin.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
of course, the log cabin, yes. But, it's interesting because the festivals were really, the Carlton Fun Days and whatever that frog jumping thing is in Yam Hill.
Yeah.
And it's great that those are still going, and they're still going strong, and they're still, very viable community events. But then you've added another layer with this, which is, just completely different and art, wine, fun, food, just a different kind of thing. So I love that about it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it incorporates, for me, a lot of out-of-town people, but also a lot of the community as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of just stretches out the summer.
Yeah, it
summer
does.
scene
Yep.
and summer season. And
Absolutely.
all the fun things that are going on.
Yes. We have been really fortunate. Oh.
It's a junction where the town folks meet at each function. In a tux, they'll greet you. Get your cares, come on down. I'll meet you there, come on down. I'm headed for Tuxedo Jones now. Mr. Steve Jobs. Where the town folks meet at each function. In a plaid suit, they might greet you. Come on down, forget your cares. Come on down, I'll meet you there. Come on down, I'm headed for Tuxedo Jones now. Break it down a little bit now. Mr. Paul Harmon on the bass. Oh, walk that big dog. Take it through it again. All right, now I want you to listen. A little verse, little old friend of ours wrote. Way out west in Oregon, where sometimes they see the sun, there's a place where people go to dance the night away. They all walk or ride their bikes to get jive, and that's Oregon style. They all come to see High Street in this here park right here. It's a junction where the town folks meet at each function. On a bale of straw they'll meet you. Come on down, forget your cares. Come on down, we'll meet you.
Well, that's obviously a nice little promo.
It gives you an idea of what to expect. The park that we have it in, the lower park in Winterberg Park in Carlton, is beautiful. It's full of oak groves, lots of shade, right along the Yamhill River there. And it's actually one of the only festivals in Oregon that you can enjoy food and wine and actually walk around with people of all ages. Children are welcome to come. They may not enjoy the wine, they may not enjoy the food, but they definitely enjoy the art. Of course, we don't allow pets in the park just for reasons that everybody would know. The obvious reasons. And plus, it's just so darn hot for them out there. So we just really encourage people to leave them at home. But it's, there's so many components to this event. One thing is the music. And
the music is fabulous.
It's wonderful. So we have music running every day on Saturday and Sunday, and some of the highlights are Joni Harms, great local country folk singer. I could sit there all day and listen to her beautiful Nashville voice. And then the real highlight for a lot of people is the March 4th band. And if you've never seen them, their Mardi Gras style of marching on stilts and dressing and hula hooping, and this, it's gotten to the point, this is our 9th annual event, and March 4th has been with us for almost every year through that. And people come and they wait. And now the children are dressing up like March 4th. And they march all the way through the park, and they have hundreds of people following them through the park.
Kind of like a second line.
It really is. And it is the excitement and the energy and the anticipation is so much fun. You see them pulling in their big old bus and get out and start getting dressed, and it is just, for me, it's one of the real highlights of the weekend.
It is a lot of fun. There's just so much energy around that.
Yeah, and they're great, happy people.
And everybody's looking for a spot on the hay bales.
That's right. You got to find your spot on the hay bales. And, there's dancing, and we've added the last few years actually a dance floor, because before people were a little hesitant to get up there, and now everybody's dancing all the time. And we have a steel drum band coming, and some real great variety of music.
It's gonna be fun. I don't know, it's just always such a good time and something to look forward to, and the food, the music, the entertainment, the jewelry. All of the art and the wine and everything.
And what I do is I encourage the men to go over and hang out and look at the classic car show.
Oh, right, of
Yeah,
course.
because there's about 50 classic cars there on Saturday and Sunday, and they're different cars on Saturday and Sunday. So I encourage people to come back both days, and beautiful cars. People bring their collections out, and it's fun to stroll through and look at these beautiful, shiny vehicles, and it's great. So like I said, there really is something for everybody there at the event.
And will you have the lady with the quilts?
Yes. So as you walk into the event, it's lined with quilts, and we always seem to have a little breeze going, and it's just it really creates the festive atmosphere before you even enter.
It's so Americana. You just love it. You think, oh, this is perfect. It's like it smells like summer and the hay and all the grass and everything, and it's warm, and there's the quilts, and yet there's wine.
And there's good wine, and there's good food. We have Wayward Winds lavender. They bring their lavender still there, and so they actually make lavender oil and lavender lemonade right there in the park, and it's this wonderful warm smell of lavender as you walk by. And every time I smell lavender, I think of Wayward Winds, and it's another neat something that you don't get to see all the time.
No, in fact, the lavender still, it's really cool to watch the process.
Yeah, it is, and they bring these huge buckets of lavender in, and they burn it down and with hot water with steam, and then they take all the stems away, and it
smells so good.
It smells so good. I know, I could just sit there all day with wine and food, of course.
Of course. Wow.
Right.
So now you've been the coordinator for how long?
About 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So been working. This is our 9th annual event. Since we started, I mentioned that one of our goals was to support the communities through economic viability, but we've also raised about $250,000, about $250,000 that have gone back directly to charities in the Yamhill and Carlton